Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, TransferTradeSolutions.com on a Friday. It's 10th day of July. We had the Hynix, that South Korean chip manufacturer. The IPO was kind of the big deal today. Let's get right into the charts. Aside from that, we're still seeing a lot of rotation, lots of chop. The because NVIDIA is moving higher. And again, I go back to that's probably the most important stock right now. You can see the index is moving higher. Um, and as I've been talking about, the fact that I thought maybe the S&P was going to make an all-time high, a new all-time high with the seasonality and all that. I think that's probably in the cards. What it does from here is going to be interesting. The Nasdaq's still kind of lagging relative to uh, its all-time highs because of the mega caps. In fact, if you look at the breadth today, the mega caps are mixed. Breadth is actually not that great today. If you uh, were to go and look at a map of the S&P 500, you can see that there's a lot of stocks up and down all over the place. But nevertheless, we'll see if we have some follow through to the upside on Nvidia and maybe some of these mega caps start picking up. I would say that probably the Nasdaq goes up to here. Um, but overall, it's just been real choppy trading, really, from an index perspective. The Dow also, it's kind of lagging here. Russell's the one that I've still been watching to see if it's going to uh, go below 2,900. Looking at NVIDIA stock per se, you want to watch that 211, 212 level. I've been talking to my members about, this 200. Clearly, that was resistance becoming support now, but it still remains to be seen if, in fact, uh, NVIDIA can break above 212. If it does, I think it's probably going to go after all-time highs. Still remains to be seen. This is the level to be watching on NVIDIA uh, probably next week. The rest of the chip stocks, software still kind of languishing. Bitcoin, which is uh, looks like it may be, and again, this is a maybe, a big maybe. I would say that until it takes out, uh, 60, let's call it 68K, still, you still got to give the downside the benefit of the doubt. However, you are starting to see again, bottoms like this, you start somewhere and, could we have another rally like this? Notice here, we kind of had that same setup here, and we had that run. Longer term, you still obviously, but I'm just talking about a run maybe up to, somewhere up around 73K, which would be a tradable bottom, especially with some of these stocks like Strategy and Coinbase, that type of thing. VIX, this is interesting. VIX at 15. Let's see if it breaks 15, goes down to 14. That could be a signal again that we may be peaking out. Um, on the interest rate front, not much. We are seeing some higher rates, which in turn is moving the dollar a little bit. This has also been churning here. This will be very critical in terms of what the dollar does. I'm sorry, what gold does, and let's see if it actually breaks the correlation, starts moving up even despite a stronger dollar. Um, Oil, again, with all the news lately, still kind of just languishing. I think we're kind of going to be scraping the bottom here around 70. And unless something really dramatic happens, I think we'll kind of just be bouncing around. It would not surprise me, though, if things really turn south there and they shut down the straits or, the uh, bombing increases or, it starts the flare up in the Middle East goes a lot further than it is right now. Uh, could see oil back up to 80, in the 80s. But for now, again, it's going to be just chopping around in here. Uh, interesting move in nat gas this week. We did have a bot, it did break three, and it did touch the lows here uh, from last time we were down at this area here. So it did fill that gap, and it's attempting to bounce this afternoon. We'll see if, in fact, this is a low in nat gas and could present an opportunity. This is that gap right here. You can see there's a gap right along. So it is trying to bounce off this 390-ish level somewhere right in here. We did comment on this morning in our group. I think if this reversal holds and we can gap up on Sunday, I think that would confirm a near-term bottom, and we probably rally back up to 322 or maybe even up to 336, the bottom resistance or the resistance in this level there. We also have, again, I've been writing about grain markets. We're seeing a nice move in some of the grain markets due to weather, all this. We still, we're still in basically in a big old range. With soybeans running 11 to about 12, 12.50. There is a chance I think we get up into these areas here in soybeans, and wheat having a big move today. Looks like that's bottoming at 570 with, again, these big levels in wheat back up to about 7. And then corn also moving today. So it's, going into the summer season with the heat and all that, it's going to be interesting to see if corn breaks out above 5. That's the one I'm looking at as well. So keep an eye on the grains. Lots of stocks churning under the surface. But next week, we've got earnings starting. We've got a Fed meeting coming up in the next couple of weeks. So it's going to get really interesting. In any event, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the newsletter, and I will be doing another class coming up. For sure, subscribe to the newsletter. I'm going to be writing about some interesting stuff this weekend. So if you're interested in, and I do give you some ideas, by the way, it's not just, I give you some specific trade ideas in there as well. So subscribe to the newsletter. If not, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.